Sheriff Rodney Watson. This will be just like the forum before. Be time questions for each question, how many minutes. Ada's timekeeping, when there's 15 seconds, she'll wave, so you know when we get close to it. But before we begin, introduction, 1 minute, whatever you like to say, sir.
Okay. Good evening, Slap Out, Texas, also known as Hubbard, Texas. Some of you guys know what we're talking about. Jason, you probably know. Larry, I'm sure you probably know. My name's Rodney Watson. I'm the Hill County Sheriff. I've lived in Hill County my entire life. I've spent 33 years of law enforcement, all here in Hill County. I've worked patrol, dispatch, jail, bailiff, transport. I've rose through the ranks as a corporal, sergeant, lieutenant, chief deputy, and now 2 terms as sheriff. I have 2 boys. Kenny, he's a lineman. Davis, he's a policeman. I raised those 2 as a single parent. Very proud of them. They're doing a great job. Of course, I worry about the younger one. I was hoping he'd at least be a fireman and not a cop. To all the law enforcement out here, thank you guys for what you do. I know you get kicked around. I support every one of y'all. Every one of y'all. It's a hell of a hard job, and thank y'all for what y'all do.
All right, questions tonight will regard around the management of the Sheriff's Office. First question, the first set of questions will be about the budget. The Sheriff's budget makes up the largest portion of the county budget, which only exists because of the citizens of Hill County who pay their taxes.
Thank y'all.
We want to know how you'll manage the taxpayers' money. The first question, this will be a 1-minute answer. What is the budget of the Sheriff's Office, and give us details of that budget?
Okay, in the last fiscal year, the budget was $7.2 million. This fiscal year, it's gone up to just shy of $8.5 million. The reason for that increase is because we finally got a long-deserved raise, thanks to the commissioners and the county judge. They had an outside firm come in and do a salary study, and they found out that we were way below the market of where we should be. As a result of that, we've been able to recruit and retain a lot better, so thank you guys for that. The majority of our budget, 70 percentile usually, goes to personnel. So personnel is the biggest chunk of the budget. We have the budget hearings. How much time do we have on this one?
15 seconds.
Yeah.
We have the budget hearings, and sometimes you get what you want, sometimes you don't. You know, you guesstimate the best that you can to be able to cover. We've had a lot of unknowns. Groceries, feeding that jail takes a lot of money. Inflation has given us a big hit on that. Fuel has given us a big hit. So, we try to predict those things as close as we can, but we've been really blessed with the commissioners and the county judge to really work with us on that. And those guys look out for you. They really do.
All right, our next question will be, how do you plan to better spend the taxpayers' money with your budget if reelected? 1-minute answer.
Okay. What we've done, we've looked at different grocery vendors, because we were really hit hard in the area of groceries. So we've looked at different vendors, and we've really lowered that cost exponentially. With the gas vendors, there's really not much you can do, because we have about maybe 4 places in the county where we can get fuel. But we encourage the guys to try to look at the cheaper places, but you usually have to get fuel wherever you're at. Once we get, what we've done with the vehicles, we rotate our fleet now. We have a lease program, and that helps us out on maintenance costs. We've saved a lot of money in maintenance, and that's worked out really well for us.
Good. All right.
That's the time.
You have 15 seconds left. Okay. She gave us 32 things that are saving money, so that's not bad. Okay. Workforce questions. The Sheriff's Office cannot perform its duties without good people who are also willing to be servant leaders. We want to know what you know about the people in the Sheriff's Office. And this will be a 1-minute answer. So tell us how many positions there are at the Sheriff's Office and what are the duties of these positions.
There's just over 80 positions. We have 20 in patrol. We for when we're full. Now, when we're full, I don't want anybody to use this against me. When we're full, we have 20 in patrol, 4 bailiffs, for transport. We have about 32 in the jail. And civilian employees, I'm gonna say about 9, about 12 dispatchers, and did I say jailers already? 34 jailers, I think it was. Okay. And oh gosh, we got a lot of people, really good people. With the money, we've been able to recruit much better quality candidates.
That just means you have 15 seconds.
Okay.
That's what that
But these guys
Timer
have a
says
certain
something.
heart. They want to do the best job that they can. Just like all these guys out here in law enforcement, I work with a lot of them, and they're really great guys, and they do a great job. So anybody that bashes these guys, I think that's terrible for them to do. I've got the utmost respect for all of them, and you'll never hear me run any of these guys down. God bless all y'all.
All right, our last question about workforce. You just mentioned all the positions you have. How would you go about filling those positions when you have a vacancy? And how would you go about working to retain employees? 1 minute answer.
Well, we work really hard on that, and like I say, with the commissioners working with us on that, we have training incentives, so every certification that you get, we get an increase in pay. You have a basic, advanced, or intermediate, advanced, and master certification, so every one of those certifications you get more money, so it incentivizes the guys to get a lot more education. Like I say, with the commissioners, we worked really hard with the commissioners to get the salaries up. They saw that we had a need, and it's really hard to fill those positions right now. That's a nationwide problem. That's not exclusive to us. Even the agencies that pay the better money, they still struggle to get these people. But it's worked really well for us. The money that we did get was, we're really happy with what we've got. We still have a lot to work on. We have some areas in the office that are underpaid, and we are working on that.
All right. Our last set of questions will be about the jail. Running the jail is a very complicated role for the sheriff. We have questions regarding the jail and its operations. But first of all, we'd like to know kind of what you think. 1 minute answer. Tell us what the role of the jail is in our county, our judicial system, and our society. 1 minute.
The role of the jail is to house offenders and house them safely. You know, we have to keep those guys safe. There's a lot of liability incurred in the jails. They'll remain in jail until they either get out on bond and then go to court, or if they can't make bond, we'll hold them until they go to court. The prosecutors and the judge, the prosecutors will try them, the judges will adjudicate them. And the jail's quite the monster, but we have really good people that are working in there, and they do a really good job. And from the jailers up to the administration, we've got some really, really good people, and we've been able to improve that over the years, and I'm really proud of what we've done.
Okay. Our next question regarding the jail. Tell us what you think is successful and what is not successful with the jail. 1 minute answer.
One of the challenges that we've had, I think we're very successful in the jail in most areas. One of the challenges that we have had, we've had a lot of new people, and the jail has a lot of moving parts, and then whenever you're running with a lower staff, these guys have to do that. They have to do meals, they have to do razor logs, they have to do laundry, pick up laundry, and they have to log all these things. Medicine, they have to escort the medical personnel. We had some things that we had to work on were rounds. We were non-compliant for a very short while because of rounds, and we corrected that, and we're compliant. Non-compliance, that's something that can happen to anybody at any time. That happens to a lot of people, but that was because of rounds. And guys, I'm gonna be fully transparent with you, but we worked on that, and we corrected it. But everybody did a really good job, and we hold people accountable, and you have to hold them accountable, and they learn a lot faster that way.
And our last question kind of rolls right into what you're starting to speak on. Tell us what improvements you would make to the jail, and how would you implement these changes? And for this one, it's a 2 minute answer.
I got it.
So a little more time to talk.
Okay. All right, what we've done, like I said, one of the things I touched on earlier, we've looked at our grocery cost and we cut that cost exponentially. We did, again, like I say, with the salaries, we were able to get the salaries up and that helped out a lot. I mean, it was like night and day. We were struggling to even get anybody to apply. And on the patrol side, right after we got the raises, within 4 weeks, we were full on paper. And we hadn't been there, and we've never been there. But the jail, it helps us out a lot in the jail. We've done the training incentives for the jailers also, and as a result of that, a lot of those are getting much more certifications. Every one of them has to get a food handler's license. So we've really worked on the education back there and training, and it's a young group. You know, you're gonna have your bumps with the younger groups, and you just gotta roll with it. I mean, you can't quit. But I will say this, I've talked to sheriffs all over the state and talked to them about some of the issues that we have, and some of them, and everybody across the board, like I say, personnel and recruitment and retention, but they kind of laugh at me sometimes, and they say, if that's the biggest problem that you got, you're pretty blessed. So, you know, we've got like I say, we've got a really good crew, and Amanda Miller, Avery Stoll, Scott Robinson, Walter Hooten, all these guys, they work really, really hard back there, and I'm really proud of all of them. My administration, they have years of experience, and what we've done, I mean, I didn't know any of these guys until we hired them. We hired based on qualifications and experience and history. I've seen the friends thing where people hired friends, and it's really not fair to that person if you put them in a position and they're not experienced enough for the position. I mean, you're not doing them any favor doing that, and I've never really seen that work good. So we really worked hard on getting qualified people. So they were strangers before they came to work.
Very good. All right, closing statement. 1 minute. Anything you'd like to say?
Okay. I've been thinking about this a lot, and thinking about the last 33 years, and I just thought it was important to me to read this. I don't have it to my memory, so I'm just going to read it. There are 2 ways to the top: the elevator and the stairs. The elevator is hollow. In the elevator, there's entitlement. In the stairs, however, there's the climb. In the climb, there's character. In the climb, there is endurance. In the climb, there is lessons. Because of the lessons, there is wisdom. In the climb, you will stumble and you will fall, but you will get back up and you will continue. And because of the fall, there is perseverance. But most of all, in the climb, there is beauty. Because when you are so exhausted that you cannot take another step, it's then that God carries you and restores you. And this is a beautiful thing. So take the stairs. Always take the stairs. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rodney Watson.